Oh, I put them in there because... No.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Jake, can you hear me?
I can. I'm going to turn you down, I think. Probably the way to do it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day.
Thanks. You don't have to be super quiet, just... yeah.
Corey, TG, Soren, what's up? Tony. Someone somewhere. Brian.
How's it going, everybody?
Happy Friday.
Good day to ya.
Jake, happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, man. Made it to the end of the week.
Made it. We did another
It's
one.
been a busy day, but I just barely made it here. I scarfed down some food, and now I've grabbed a beer.
Grabbed a beer.
Relax.
Nice. We don't have any beers here.
No beers there.
No. We have a lot of stuff to cover on this stream here. Jake, we haven't done the giveaway for September. You want to do that on stream? You want to do that afterward?
If you want to set it up, we could do it on stream. That's fine.
Oh. Oh, I thought she was just bringing you peanut butter.
No, she couldn't open it. Poor Annie. Poor Annie, no hand strength. No, I'm just kidding. She has some hand strength.
Come to Denmark. I've never been to Denmark. That'd be really fun. That'll be a fun time. What's it like in Denmark? I know pastries, right? Danishes.
I'm pretty sure they have a good economy as well.
Come to
Good
Denmark
economy.
for the views, stay for the economy. That's a tourist slogan if I've ever heard one.
All right, there we go. I've got chat pulled up here.
Nice. We are complete.
Yeah, lots of folks hanging out.
Midnight Hunt, Jake, is completely spoiled at this point.
Oh, wow. They've already spoiled all of it. Jeez.
We've got
That was fast.
the spoilers for Midnight, for Crimson Vows start Monday. And
Okay.
then I think the previews for Neon Kamigawa start the week after that.
Oh, wow. So now they're going to just start doing previews all on top of each other, and sets are going to come out every week or something like that. Is
Every
kind of be
every
like
6
that.
weeks, yeah, every 6 weeks. They're not ridiculous, Jake.
I mean, I don't know. I think that topic is up for debate. Is that on the docket today?
Maybe on the docket is, are they ridiculous? No, the spoilers aren't coming that hard and heavy, but they are coming hard and heavy.
Oh, so were you joking around about Neon Kamigawa coming?
Yeah.
Right on. Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah,
Thank
and
God.
Midnight
Jeez.
Hunt doesn't start on Crimson Vow doesn't start on Monday.
Okay, good. That's good.
Lego everything in Denmark.
Honestly, worrisome to me.
Yeah,
I was
did
like,
you
Wow, that
did you
seems like
panic a little
weird
bit?
Business plan. What's that?
Did you panic a little bit?
I didn't panic as much as I was like, wow, we're really gonna have to pick and choose what we cover.
Did you see this art for this Soul Ring? Here, I need to share my screen to you. That's going to make this much more successful stream. That was my Alan Rickman.
Oh, what is this? The
The
Commander
s-
Collection?
Yeah, Soul Ring from the Commander Collection for Black. This looks awesome to me.
Yeah, it's just another Soul Ring.
Another Soul Ring, dude.
It's another Soul Ring. I mean, there's so many Soul Rings. I think, like, in order for me at this point, just based on what my gut is telling me, what my how I'm feeling, is like it needs to be either like a masterpiece treatment, it needs to be extended art, or full art. Like Soul Ring, how, like, why do we need to know the text of Soul Ring at this point? Like, could Soul Ring maybe be like a full art treatment?
Oh, dude,
like
you know they're saving that for a secret layer. They've got to be.
Yeah, so at this point, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a cool Soul Ring. Like, if I absolutely had a deck that was like flavorful, where I was like, I have to have that Soul Ring for it. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's just because it has the standard border, it doesn't really stand out much to me. Just saying. In a world of variance, it doesn't. It's not. I mean, it's like, it's really cool art. It's just, I would pass on it. It's not enough to get me in bed with Commander Collection Black. Let's say it like that.
It would go great in my mono black deck.
We've seen the cards from Commander Collection Black, and they really do fall short compared to Commander Collection Green. It's like a very medium kind of set. I don't know, just my thoughts.
Heretical Healer's got some value, 25. A Firemancer's got some value at 20. Phyrexian Arena, I can't believe this card is still up 15, 20 bucks. That's crazy to me.
It's a cool card. I know a lot of people don't like Phyrexian Arena, but
no, that's mostly the nitpicking nerds. They don't like Phyrexian Arena.
Good afternoon, everyone. What up, Attitude? Ty Johnson just finished cracking a AFR box. How'd you do, Ty? Yeah, Toxic Deluge is pretty sweet. I mean, that's a top tier EDH card. I will say that. And obviously Command Tower is, everybody should be running a Command Tower.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is the kind of one
Reanimate is really cool.
This will be great for my mono black EDH deck, pretty much is where I'm at on it.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of fun cards.
Like Soul Ring, Command Tower, Deluge automatically go in, and then there's a discussion about probably a Firemancer, Arena, and Reanimate, and then the other two probably don't really fit in the deck.
Yeah, true. Can we look at the Soul Ring once more? What is the theme of the art? Is it just skulls? What can we zoom in on? What's going on the actual ring?
Skulls and it's hard to see with the art, but yeah, it's like a runic. It looks maybe sharp. Let me look up the artist. Let me see what we got here. Let's do a little Google. Cool. Everybody ready for a Google?
What's up, Eric? McFuddy, how's it going, man? Here for the algorithm and to hang out today, it looks like.
Thank you very much. Algorithm.
Yeah, Deluge is definitely a good card.
He's got the croaking counterpart on his art station, or they. I don't see the...
For me right now, AFR would be by singles is kind of where I'm at. But if you enjoy cracking a box and if you're into the set, then by all means go for it. I'm sure you can find a box for a good price.
Look at this. Artists you don't know. I'm going to butcher this, but Yong Hao Han. Look at this art.
Yeah,
I mean, some classic pieces, man. I mean, that's Hallowed Fountain. This is the freaking Basilica Bell Haunt. Sanctum of the Sun, Carnage Tyrant, Thematic Compass. It's
Island from Kaladesh.
Yeah. You see so much art on iconic oh wow, Millstone, Eye of Doom. Yeah. That's awesome. And you never know who the artist is, and then you click on one of these random artists. I do this all the time when I'm researching videos, and suddenly I'll be like, oh wow, they've done like 50 of my favorite art pieces in this entire game. Let's look at them on Twitter and see if they've got any for the Soul Ring. This is the best way to go. Go media. Doesn't post anything.
Annie, how'd your day go? Did you have a good one?
On Twitter.
Good. Yeah, it is a hot one. It's hot over here where we are.
It's a hot one here too, brother.
Is it hot?
South Florida and Los Angeles, South California. Those hot ones. Y'all, so we've got a lot of...
says one day my art will be on one day.
Do it, man. We've seen some of the stuff you've shared in Discord. Oh, I got a good stretch going. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got quite a show for you on this chillest of Fridays. I was doing some poking around for some finance shorts earlier in the week, and I found some cards that have value that you wouldn't think they'd be this expensive. But you got hidden value in some of the set boosters of the D&D set. So if you opened up any set booster packs or set booster boxes of D&D Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, stick around for that conversation. We're going to go through some of the cards and talk about that from not only the MTG angle, but from the D&D angle. I'm hoping Jake can give us some insight on that side.
You know what's interesting? It's funny because, you know, you bring up set boosters, and I bought a set booster of Modern Horizons too. And I was like excited. I pulled the legendary mythic merfolk.
Oh, nice.
And then
Is
in
that
the end,
oh yeah.
It's like it's not Sylveon, because that's
the
obviously
blue one
the
though, right?
Psychic. Yes, the blue card, but not the psychic Pokemon EV evolution.
Hey, you know what? We can call it Sylveon. That's fine with me.
It was. Or
I'm
actually,
sitting here with
Sylveon's
Scryfall.
a fairy type. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sitting here with Scryfall in front of me.
What was that merfolk? Okay, so I pull this, but then it is so funny.
Yeah,
how
Sylveon of Sea and Sky.
Oh, it's Sylveon. All right. So anyway,
Svailun.
I pulled this, and then in the list slot, randomly out of nowhere, is an Uro from Theros Beyond Death, and I was like, "What the hell is this card doing in this slot?" It was just like such a random pull. It's like out of nowhere, you get this card, and then I mean, most of the time that slot is just a token. You know, I mean, it's a very like medium kind of thing, but when you are getting the boxes, there is some value to be had there. There really is.
Well, you've started becoming an advocate for the set booster boxes recently.
Yeah, I do like the set boxes. I like the set boxes. I think if you're trying to get like the most value out of the set, you're not planning on drafting it, which is for anybody who might be hanging out. You're like, why even have draft boosters and set boosters? Well, the draft boosters are literally for the draft format and the sealed format. So you have to have them if you're passing packs around. If you're building decks, you need that many cards per pack. But if you're just cracking packs from a collector aspect, then yeah, I really do think that set boosters are the way to go. You're going to get more uncommons. You're going to get kind of like a themed pack as far as your commons and uncommons. They're called the connected commons and uncommons.
Right.
Then you're going to have chances at like multiple rares and like a foil slot. It's just it is the way to go. If you're just collecting, you do get less packs. But historically, like for example, the MH2 set boxes were all very good. I never really saw one of those that fell flat.
Got you, Coach. Yeah, Jake, it makes a lot of sense, and maybe we should put a pin in that. That's an interesting direction for is it collector booster boxes? Is it worth it? Maybe that
could I get a little louder volume? I'm turned up all the way over here.
I did it on my side.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, everybody. I have a terrible toothache today, and it has me in just like the worst. It just, oh God. Something happened to my tooth. I have to get it looked at.
I need that root canal.
No, I will not do a root canal. I'll just get it extracted.
Okay.
You could just pull it.
Weird.
I don't want the dead tooth sitting in my head.
Weird take.
It's just a dead tooth that would just be sitting in my jaw. I don't know. It weirds me out. The volume is perfect now. Okay, good.
I've got
those 3 draft packs are loaded.
Jake, when did they put Biff on an MTG card?
Oh, is that Biff? Oh, jeez. It looks kind of like the character from Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah, it does.
Stolen Vitality. It's like that one character that just wants berries and cream from when Cream Savers used to be a thing.
Berries and cream, berries and cream.
I'm a little lad who likes berries and cream.
This is a weird name for a card. Stolen Vitality. Target creature gets +3/+1 till end of turn. If it's your turn, they gain trample. Otherwise, they get first strike. Doesn't seem like anything's being stolen. It seems like something's being bestowed. But that's
if it's your turn, that creature gains trample. I mean, what's cool about this card is it's a really nice. It's nice on the attack, nice on defense.
Yeah,
it's pretty good card.
Yeah,
I would draft it.
Makes a good blocker, mate. Yeah, it's as good as a removal spell, right? So
yeah, and if you're getting through, then great. Just pump a dude for 2 if it's going to be lethal. Otherwise, take out something. +3/+1, and then giving it first strike on defense is, oh man, that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
You can trade very nicely, or not even trade. You can just like
I know
go
that's
ham with that card.
That's a random comment uncommon. I just opened it up and saw Biff on art. Figured I needed to click on it. God, doesn't it seem like months ago that we saw Ren in 7? Maybe it was. I don't even know at this point. So we've seen everything. We've got all our mythics, Jake.
What do you think of the new Teferi? I was very medium on it.
New Teferi seems fun. I mean, it seems...
It's the right casting cost, right mana value, rather.
Right.
To be good or bad. 4 is pretty much the make or break. I mean, Big T is very good.
So the +1 being choose a target artifact up to a creature and up to 1 target land. Untap the ones you control, tap the ones you don't control. It's kind of an aggro ability on a planeswalker, right? Because the walker's going to be sitting on your side. Can only do these at sorcery speed. And so you can either use an artifact or creature, land, one of each or all of them once and then untap them. Or untap after attacks. I don't know. It seems like an aggro ability on a blue-white walker, which if we look all the way back to like Dovin Bond, which was one of the most aggro style deck need builds, but it was on a blue-white walker and nobody ever really played it. It seems similar in that regard. Look at the top 3, put into your hand, the rest on the bottom's good. I'll always take a kind of, what is it, brainstorm, not brainstorm, puts them back on top, but you know what I'm talking about. And then, I mean, if you can get to 7, starts at 4. It's not impossible, but it's 4 turns to go through and then activate it down. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's some good velocity. The -2 is good velocity. I just don't know if I like care about a 4 cost for that. The +1 seems like it could be valuable. Right.
Like there could be some good uses for that, but it's still kind of underwhelming. So it's like mostly we're here for that -2 ability, in my opinion.
Sure, but you're paying 4 mana just to do that twice.
Right, exactly.
Seems interesting to me. Anyway, let's look at this real fast and we'll come back and we'll do AFR. I mean, not AFR. God, so many sets. Midnight Hunt until we're done here tonight, because there's some other stuff to talk about that too, including a poll from the channel. So I want to talk about, Jake, these and see if you were aware where the price had gotten to on these, and see if anybody else in chat was aware. I was going to do a whole video on it, but then I figured that talking about it on stream would be good too. So these are the art cards from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. And these are the signed ones, obviously, with the gold embossed signature. But the interesting thing about these is that we've got... come on. We've got these cards that have backs. And on the back of them are actual statistics from D&D for that creature, to my knowledge. And so people are grabbing, you know, like Gelatinous Cube. People are specifically seeking these cards out because they're almost like these D&D supplementary products where you've got card versions with really cool art on the other side with the gold embossed signature, obviously, that people are looking for, people are trying to acquire. The Tarask, huge creature in the game, 676 hit points, a 30 of a challenge. You know, I mean, if you've got...
so like what's interesting about this, and let's just fill some folks in, but like if you were a DM, for example, a dungeon master, you could acquire these just to have a little bit of additional flavor for when you go into an encounter. Just like, and all of a sudden you see a mimic appear, or you see a Timiat, or whatever. Now they can put this card on the battlefield. People can look at it, and then at a glance, you know, they could turn it over, look at its statistics. Yeah, I see what's cool about this. There's definitely something interesting here. Not every creature ever from D&D is going to be represented on these cards, but yeah, there is a little bit of some crossover appeal. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because then you look at Let me move this over here. Sorry for all that, y'all. You look at...
What did I pronounce it wrong? I think I said something incorrectly, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Tiamat, the dragon?
Tiamat. Yeah.
That is what it is. If you go and you look at MTG stocks, we're going to go over to our extras. I believe they've got... Here it is, art series. So all of these are not created equal by any means. We've got... So you've got Drizzt here first, right? Drizzt obviously is going to be there because it is a commander.
Right.
And so people are going to want the gold embossed version of their commander. But then you've got number 2, the Mimic. Right now, let's go over here for market price instead of averages here. You got Tiamat under that, also a commander, also makes sense being at the top of the list. $16. Beholder, this is just a Beholder. It's the art gold stamped version of that showcase art. $11 for this art card. So I really think that anybody who opened up set booster boxes of Adventures in the Forgotten Realms has probably got $5 to $25 sitting, and they don't even know if they got any of these gold stamps. Right, exactly. That is the caveat to this whole thing, is it's the gold stamps that are going for value. Mimic is over $8. You know, even Showcase Cloister Gargoyle.
So the regular version of this card that doesn't have the gold stamp, what does the other side look like?
The regular one also has...
It also has the stats?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. These also have the signature. Oh no, they only put the signature ones in here for some reason. To my knowledge, they're the same. I'm not sure why this has only got the... Yeah, to my knowledge, they're the same. Maybe somebody in chat knows.
Yeah, trying to check on that here for you folks. Okay, so Ty says yes. Stats 2.
Even on the non-gold embossed ones, yes. So it just struck me as odd that these cards have, you know, 4 or 5 of them are up in the $10, $20 range. And I hadn't really seen anybody talking about how they had pulled some extra value in their set booster box of Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. And like,
yeah, that really is interesting. I would say,
you know, even going back to Kaldheim, Vorinclex only $3. Tibalt, which was a planeswalker, only $3. You know, it's just not the same.
Simply by putting those stats on the back did a lot,
right,
for the value of those cards.
Most expensive one is Grist. If you go back just one set, and that's only $7. But it is interesting to note too that, I mean, if you got any of these in gold stamp from like Glimmerburn up, you're looking at $2 to $7.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of additional value that you can get.
Yeah, they definitely figured out a way to, you know, increase the collectability by...
Yeah, I actually have a Necrogoyf art card with the gold stamp, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's a cool signature.
I actually have
too.
2 cards with that same gold stamp on them. 2 of them from that same artist.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, I don't even know what the other one is. I was just like, wow, I just keep opening that one.
Let's look at... Well, now I'm interested. You have some sort of universe connection to Nicholas Gregory.
Yep. It's Necrogoyf and something else that was from that same set.
Maybe
Not
Grief.
No. Not Grief. I would know it. It's definitely an MH2 card. Necrogoyf and that.
Break the Ice or Herd Baloth?
Or wait, no, keep going. I want to see.
Nested Shambler? I got that one.
You have an art card of that with a gold signature?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I have too. I'm pretty sure that's it. It's a black card as well. Did Nested Shambler get that treatment, even though it was... Oh, yeah. There's an art card. Keep going.
Yeah, there's Grief. Yeah, it did.
Yep, that's what they were. I got Necroglyph and Nested Shambler.
Well, there you go. Nicholas Gregory,
Yep.
the artist. We've got a very art theme going on in this episode today.
Look at these handsome fellows. I kind of want you guys to form a boy band. I will be the fat, greasy manager who steals your profits. It sounds like a great Amazon Prime show, honestly.
That's actually kind of why we got into this business, was for
We're
that
looking
to
to
sort
get
of be
into a
our
good
pivot.
scandal. I want to get into a scandal.
We just want to
Get one of those going.
We're looking to pivot into a major scandal that we do like maximum 3 years in federal prison for, and then we get a great
Right.
Netflix show out of it.
Absolutely.
Sacrifice 3 years of your life in federal prison for a great Netflix documentary starring role. It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like that bad of a deal.
We've definitely created a system where that is attractive to some people. Let's just say that. At this point, the YouTube channel is like working. So at this point, I don't so much want to do the whole, prison thing and get into a big scandal, but I'll do a small scandal. That could be great. No scandals?
Eric asks, does anybody put command towers in your monocolor EDH? Are there any benefits, or is it a preference? Eric, it would probably in 0.0001% chance of the time, part of the time, kind of hinder you, because there could be a lot of cards, and probably should be, to take advantage of the synergies. Cards in your deck that look for mountains on the battlefield, or swamps on the battlefield, or forests, whatever your monocolor is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know if a monocolor really needs a command tower. If we're being honest.
Well, yeah. I mean, the question is, will it ever hurt you, right? Like, can you just put it in there as I've got a, if I bought I think the question probably came off, if I bought Commander Collection Black, could I put the mono black themed command tower into my black deck because I've got the themed command tower? And, it's probably a net zero, really, honestly, over the amount of times you would have to play to be like, damn, this thing says do X for however many swamps I control, and it's a command tower on the field instead.
Yeah, but then also if you're running that effect, then you should be running Urborg and that kind of thing anyway. I'm in for the gambling scam, the crypto gambling scam. Let me know about that. Hit me up in the DMs.
Yo, DM me about that crypto gambling scam you were telling me about.
As long as it's a nice, honest pump and dump pyramid scheme, I'm in.
This stream is going to be on...
Not financial advice, obviously.
This stream is going to be used as evidence in a courtroom one day. They're going to be like, you got to find the stream that's titled Red Circle, hidden $$ in AFR set boosters.
Yeah, and it's just going to be edited in such a way where they put scary music behind it, and they show my smiling face.
The judge,
if they had just edited it differently, it could have been this guy is an awesome babysitter. But now all of a sudden they've edited in such a way where it's I am an evil monster.
Jake,
planning pyramid schemes on stream.
Jake, no one has ever looked at you and thought awesome babysitter.
I'm just saying that's the power of editing. The power of editing.
I got what you're saying.
You can make somebody look like a great babysitter, or you can make them look like they have sunk the Titanic by themselves and took all the lifeboats with them.
If you ever have to make a resume again in your life for whatever reason, that should be the subtitle under your name, is great babysitter. Really start some conversations.
I'm just saying it's the power of editing. And I am a great babysitter.
Anyway, yeah, you do that. You've got practice at that.
I've done it.
Gold stamp signature cards. Yeah, make sure he don't kill himself.
Make sure you get drunk before you go in.
Yeah, just get drunk first. You're gonna be numb to their bullshit.
I'm telling you, man. There's a science to that. 100%.
That's good. I'm gonna clip that, send it to our friends whose kids you watch.
That's fine.
They'll be like, oh, we know.
Thank God he does that before he gets in there.
So everybody, if you opened up set booster boxes of Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, make sure to go check your gold stamp signature art cards, because honestly, this is such an outlier from any of the other art cards that we've had because of that special statistic thing on the back that I don't even know what to recommend here, Jake. Jake, if you are sitting on Drizzt Do'Urden and art card gold stamp signature right now, do you try and go sell the shit out of it, or do you sit on it?
Well, here's the thing. Is everybody ready for this? This is going to blow your mind.
Eric, yeah, that works.
This game, it's just NFTs. That's it. You might not like that, but it's paper NFTs, like anything, like a baseball card, a video game that's graded, that came from whatever, a Pokemon card that came out of the Logan Paul collection. This is a card with an additional layer of whatever. It has a gold stamp, and now there's this even more interesting thing that it has stats on the back. So there's a multi-layer of appeal here. MTG players, I think, are probably going to care less about this than D&D players. If I had to put my money on this, who is buying this more is probably people that like D&D, that want random variants, that are like, oh, did you see this weird crossover that they did with Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering?
100%.
So yeah, you know.
So to answer the question, would you sell now or would you hold on to these? Is this a hype call, or is this a hold? It seems like a complete meme to me, but I see the collectability of it. I would probably hold it unless you like need the money. And I know that other bigger channels always say this. What's up, Bad Boy Gaming? Thanks for popping in. I know that other channels would say this, but you know, like, why sell it unless you need the cash? Like, the thing is like, well, you could flip it into more ebb and flow, but these are probably going to be like limited, right? Like, we're like fetch lands, right? So let's say if we're talking about like a highly desired Magic card, something that is 1,000,000% going to be reprinted again. Who knows when? Most likely we're going to see the allied fetches now before the enemy fetches, right? But those, it's kind of like, I see that as like a liquid market. You're going to be able to like buy and sell fetch lands easily. There's always people that are going to be buying and selling those. I think that people that really desire these cards are going to soak them up. And so I do think that these will probably go up, because the thing is like, how many people bought the D&D set? You know, there's a certain amount of that that's going to be based on demand. I don't know how much crossover there was. Like crossover demand, like how many D&D players came out of the woodwork to buy Magic cards? Probably not that many, but yeah, I could see there being some money here. Who knows? Again, not financial advice. Yeah, the contesting thought to that is, you know, sell them into the hype while your Drizzt is $30, and then put that money towards something else that might go like, why not? If you don't need it, then why not move it and turn it into a different card that might be in a dip, right?
That's what I'm saying. Because I think like the best thing to do with any Magic card is like put it on a watch list. And I say this kind of from the perspective of MTG cards and like stocks, but like watch it for a little bit, you know, kind of like wear it out, see how you feel, how you feel with it, and then, you know, look for a good entry point. If you're like, okay, this card, like a card like Archive Trap, like I think it got reprinted on the list, but it's like, when are they going to reprint that card, for example? So there's some cards where it's like, man, that needs to show up on like a list, or that needs to show up in some weird supplemental product, or else I just need to bite the bullet and buy it. Like a card like Oko, I don't know where they would ever print that again. So if you're the kind of person who's like, I want that for a cube, or I want that extended art version for whatever, most likely they're never going to print Oko again, unless it was like a list, right, or a secret layer that's like, oops, too powerful. Like, here's 5 banned cards that we're releasing on April 1st, you know?
Yeah, Corey, it's possible that right now people really haven't realized that they are potentially sitting on a $5 bill. Like, I mean, on average, right? Look at this. You're looking at the art series. You're sitting on $4 or $5. If you're hitting one of these on the low, you're sitting on a $2 card, middle $4. If you're in the top 3 cards, you're $10 or more. Maybe top 4 cards, you're in $10 or more. So it's it is maybe a case of people not realizing, because if you go and you look at, this was the other thing, I was like, oh wow, there must be a lot of these art cards that are just worth money. Let's go back to the first time, Jake, that we saw art cards. Modern Horizons 1. Most expensive one is Prismatic Vista, and it's a 30-cent card. Lord High Artificer, the commander, the card of your commander.
And they sold these in full sets on Card Kingdom. For anybody who missed that, there was a time where you could buy all of these. Joel bought one of them, but you could buy the whole set of these art cards together. So Wizards of the Coast learned from that. They went, okay, well, that needs a little bit more. What can we do? Were the gold stamps on Modern Horizons 1? I don't believe they were, right? That came later with set boosters.
Right. Say that one more time.
The gold stamp did not come until later with set boosters. So
I think the gold stamp were
the art cards were in Modern Horizons 1, but that signature was not on them.
No. They didn't do that. Zendikar Rising.
Yeah, Brian, I would just sit on it. Yeah, I mean, but I also agree with Magic Historian, who's saying I would sell the art cards in a heartbeat if D&D fans want to pay a premium, because, and I do agree with that aspect as well, which is, you know, unless you're going to collect it, sit it in a binder, not use it, you have no use for it. So it's not a card that you're going to play in anything.
Don't go get that graded.
Sure, sell it. But if it is something where you're like, I'm a collector, I like oddities, I'm looking for something that's probably going to be hard to find in the long term, then sure, hold on to it.
It's an interesting thing. It's just a little interesting thing, you know. I mean, it's like you're saying, it's Wizards learning. It's them going, yeah, I remember, Jake, when the art series came up first, I was like, oh, these are going to be a cool collectible item. And then Card Kingdom throws up the pre-sale of the whole set. Do you remember how much it was? Like $10-15, maybe less than that?
It was cheap.
Yeah.
It was cheap.
Yeah, I want to say maybe even like
$12.95 or something.
Right, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And so I remember picking one up just to have the cards. I think I've still got them. It came in one of the jewel cases, like a thick jewel case, you know? And
sure.
And I loved it, but I haven't gotten them since then, because for me, it's, you know, that was just the first time they did that. So it was a new cool thing, but now it's every freaking set since Zendikar Rising. You know, Rising had it, Kaldheim had it, Strixhaven had it, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. All the sets from now on are going to have it.
Yeah, Bad Boy and MTG Magic Historian are both saying this as well, which is, I'm not buying the signed art cards until the actual artist signs it. Now, if they did do like a priceless treasure kind of thing,
bro,
which was like one in every 100 boxes has an actual artist signed card, like they get all their artists on the set to sign, say, like 500 cards each.
Dude, Bad Boy, you're reading my freaking mind here, because I keep up with baseball card markets a little bit. And in baseball cards, for years, Jake, they have been doing pieces of uniforms. They've been doing pieces of bats, dirt from the field. They've been doing actual player signatures. And I'm talking like, these are like
blood from jerseys, teeth, knocked out teeth,
wedding rings from their divorced wives, players that were now divorced.
That's right.
Put the wedding ring in there, one of 20. You know, they did
dried
a mock-up.
Spit. Particles.
Shoot up bubble gum.
Yeah.
Cracked sunflower seeds.
No, but everything before that riff was true. The jerseys, the bats, the gloves,
and dude, you're talking about you're talking about signed cards that are out in the wild as like 1 of 4. 1 of 5 cards that exist in single digits, and it cannot be long before we're there. Morrow's hair, Richard Garfield's tooth. It just can't be.
I collect auto patch football rookie cards.
There you go. Yeah, exactly, Bad Boy. That's what I'm talking about. This is the direction they're pushing it. I mean, okay, so a big baseball fan. MLB Network is, you know, the premier of the league, and they have a show on there now where it's all about baseball cards. It's all about cracking boxes open and looking for the signatures. And like on a major network, that is something that they're doing now, is cracking boxes and talking about baseball cards and doing interviews. And, you know, oh man, you know, this one's so special. We used this jersey. Yep, that was the jersey I was wearing when I hit a homer in the 3rd game of the World Series. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you ready? And here it is. NFTs. That's it. A non-fungible token that dives into the art provenance of that. You have a man there who is saying, this is my jersey, vouching for the provenance of that item.
Right.
And now all of a sudden people are willing to pay a premium for that. They're willing to like open endless packs and stuff just for this thing that is somehow tied to the data of this person, and whether it's on a TV show or whatever.
Dustin B, that's a cool note. He says Dragon Ball Super did the actor signing the cards for some sets, so you could get a Goku signed by the actor that plays Goku. That's really dope. And I mean, we know we've got the animated series coming soon. You know, as they start to expand, right. Maybe that's something that it goes into. But yeah, and Jake, back to the NFT point, because I've thought about that, and it's a really good idea, because basically you then own the art for Faithless Looting or whatever the hell you want to buy. But It always comes, MTG is definitely pushing really hard into the digital over the last 2 or 3 years. But everything is still rooted in paper. And so I feel like they've got to come up with something, maybe, you know, like in... maybe it's a printout of something. They'll do slides like shots from movies. You can own like old frames of animated Disney movies and animated TV shows. They'll sell those as like art pieces you can buy.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, for anybody in chat who's like, what the hell are NFTs? What are they talking about? Well, the TLDR of that is an artist could make a piece of art. Say Jake from Jake and Joel is creating a piece of art. I'm going to, on my account, create this piece of art, and there are only going to be 10 of them, and I am going to auction them off. Now, here's the thing, is you could screenshot that piece of art on your PC.
Yeah, make it your background.
That piece of art. You could just be like, well, here, I own that art. But the thing is the file that you get, the NFT that is mined, is going to be tied to my data, Jake from Jake and Joel's data. So the piece of art that you get is specifically tied to me, and anything else is going to be a counterfeit. That's why they're non-fungible tokens. It has everything to do with art provenance. So it might be just like anybody could have a picture of the Mona Lisa, right? But if the artist that painted the Mona Lisa were to release 10 digital copies of it, you would have the art that is tied to that artist. So it has everything to do with the data behind the art that you have. That's where the money is.
All right. Well, Da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa. So if Da Vinci releases 10 electronic copies.
If he had back then, if they were like, hey, you know, you did that Mona Lisa. Do you want to, in theory, have done 10 of those and like sell them off to 10 people at an egregious price in an auction? He would be like, sure, I'm sure they would.
Leonardo da Vinci. People also search for Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo DiCaprio. What the?
That is not who did the. Come on now.
Yeah, so it is interesting to see where it'll go, and you know, it's got to be not long before, the sketch page that so and so did the art on, did the proofs for to show Wizards before they created the art for the card. We cut that up into 150 pieces, and there's, you know, you can find card 62 of 150, and it's got a piece of this original sketch in it.
You know what I think is interesting, Joel? A small pivot, but over to Secret Lair. You and I were talking about. Do you remember when we were talking about how it would be cool if the Secret Lair cards had a blueprint style, or it might not have been Secret Lair cards that we were talking about, but we were talking about the sketch cards from Modern Horizons 2.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how it would have been interesting if those had like a blueprint kind of style to them instead of that sketch kind of border.
Oh yeah.
And then shortly after that in Secret Lairs, those like blueprint cards popped up.
Maybe they're listening to us.
Like, I don't know. It was very coincidental. I was just like, that is odd that happened. I mean, obviously those cards would have been painted way far ahead, but
yeah, I mean, I remember exactly what you're talking about, because I Googled Blueprint Soul Ring and found, because I'd seen pieces of art like this before. Ornithopter, you know, these altars that essentially do that. I remember pulling it for that video, pulling that art for that video. Occasionally, hey, a broken clock is right 2 times a day. So we,
that's right. That's right.
If we make enough guesses, we're eventually gonna
get something right.
Find
that's
some
right.
successful ones, right?
Yeah, the one of ones, exactly. Numbered cards. Oh man. Yeah, there's some players that would eat that up. There's like that
Seriously.
is whale hunting territory right there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is, but that's got to be a thing at some point. It's a huge.
I just got my secret layers in today. I don't even know what they are because secret layers delivered so long after you do it. Like if you're planning on moving, do not order a secret layer product.
I had to change the address since I moved out of Mass. I had to change my address for my pre-order of the talismans ones because I was like, I don't know when they're showing up. I'm just having them delivered to my mom's house. I know my mom's not moving, so I'm just having them delivered there, and I'll pick them up at some point.
You'll find the talismans at some point.
Right.
You'll get them.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of funny. It's like a nice little Christmas gift in the middle of September. They delivered secret layers from 2 years ago. Which ones did you have delivered, by the way? Have you even opened the box?
I haven't even opened it. I can open it here really quick. Let me go grab some scissors.
Yeah, grab that. Crack those open before we start talking Midnight Hunt. That'll be a cool thing to do. Everybody, we appreciate y'all hanging out today. We're actually gonna every month we give back to all of the members of our Patreon, and we give away 4 bundles. We're gonna give away 4 bundles of Midnight Hunt. We're actually gonna do that at the end of this stream. So if you are thinking about becoming a patron of ours, now's a really good time. Go to patreon.com, look up Jake and Joel Are Magic. I can put the link right here in the chat for you. But we're going to run that giveaway at the end of the stream and give away 4 bundles of Midnight Hunt. So go and join our Patreon if you want to support us. It's that link right there. Nightbot just popped up. Access to our Discord, giveaways, behind the scenes, and more. If you go...
What was I supposed to do? Grab another beer?
Yeah, grab another beer. If you go to that link right there, you can join our Patreon today. And that'll automatically enter you in the bundle giveaway that we're going to run at the end of this stream. Which one should you get?
You kick ass, man.
Yeah, Brian, you kick ass. Brian, you've been around for a while, man. You've been a super supporter. We appreciate that.
There's lots of folks here hanging out.
Super supporter.
We appreciate y'all. I went and I picked up Modelo's today and some limes, and when I'm checking out, the lady who rung me up, she goes, "Oh, I know what you're doing with those limes." I was like, well, there's like 3 things in my basket right now. There's beer, there's limes, and there's Reese's. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Reese's Puffs. It's delicious. I don't know why I don't know the name of that cereal.
Reese Puff cereal.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, unless I'm going to put the lime into my eyeballs, it's probably going to be used on the beer.
Bad boy, are we patron for patroning now?
I'll patron you if you patron me. You can go patron. You guys you're a clown, Bobby hanging out at the discotheque. I know that he is.
Bobby's at the discotheque. Bobby's typing from the discotheque. God, I can't wait to get these signets in. Now I'm looking
Dark
at
Raven,
them.
I sent you a Facebook message on your fan page. Wanted to propose an idea for your channel. We will look at that after the stream. Thank you for letting us know. I'll make a little note about it. Check Facebook. Joel, do you ever check the Facebook on there?
No, I do not. That is one of the things I do not check.
Check JAJAM.
I got these.
Facebook.
I got these things too. The Praetors. That was the other one I'm waiting on.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was doing. I wasn't grabbing a beer. I'm supposed to be opening these secret layers.
God, we missed the cat one completely. We just did not even talk about this cat one. Didn't make a video on it. Nothing. Bobby, just say you're dancing with an 8, bro. 2 beers in one hand, a phone in the other. I hope there's duct tape involved. Jake, we did not even cover the perfection secret layer.
What is that?
This one, it came in between the summer super drop and the out of time drop. Generous gift.
We covered that. Kodama's Reach, did we not?
Nah, we didn't make a video about it. Maybe we talked about it on a stream. In the perennial garden, the catnip blooms
I've bought
forever.
7 boxes here. Let's see what these are.
That's a long-term play, bad boy. That's one that a ton of people bought them, but it's a secret layer, so the only direction is up. The only direction is up for secret layers.
All right, so this is really easy. I don't even need to get this out. I got Culture Shock, Grixis, Jund, Naya, Bant, and Esper, so I got all the shock lands. I got one of each of those. And then I got 1 full text lands regular, and I got 1 Our Show is on Friday. Can you make it?
Oh, wow. This one goes back, huh?
Yeah, that's from a while ago, and those arrived today.
Wow, wow, wow.
And those,
it's like you got them and you didn't even have to spend money.
Yeah, but practically at that point, I way forgotten about that money. The secret layer thing is WotC printing money, and I have 0 complaints. I like scarce collectibles. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it as well. And at this point, I just know, I don't need to buy all of them. At this point, if you need to buy one, if you're like, man, I missed that one, bite the bullet, pay a little more, go on eBay. eBay's got it. eBay has everything that you need.
eBay's got everything.
And TCG
you
will
need.
probably have it too, but I like eBay because you can really, I feel like you can vet the sellers more.
Yep.
You can see how frequently they've been selling. And you can also look at pictures. A lot of people don't upload pictures to TCG, so I'm fine to pay a little bit more to feel like I'm going to get what I want. And the thing is I just ordered 3 Japanese War of the Spark boxes from TCG, and it didn't work out. It ended up being a chargeback. That equity got tied up. It was just a headache, and it really didn't help out the case over there. But I'm not saying that people can't do well on TCG. Just saying it's not for me. I actually like eBay more.
Jake's an eBay guy.
Yeah,
he's an eBay guy. But I mean, so with the Phyrexian Praetors, it's the same as any secret layer, man. For me, at least, the direction is up. The direction is not down. Printed once and never again.
I like that they condense the boxes. I think that like, there's so many secret layers. I might do a video that's just like me opening the secret layers that I plan to keep, because there are just the boxes take up so much room.
Nice. Enjoy, bad boy. Thanks for hanging. Catch you later.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, man. Always a pleasure. Should be a SLD secret layer drop with a Black Lotus with a Pokemon back, a Dark Hollow Charizard with a Yu-Gi-Oh back, and a Blue Eyes White Dragon with an MTG back. That'd be great.
That's the crossover right there. That's how they get around the reserve list. Just print them with different backs.
Everybody got their freaking Shockland secret layers, and I'm still waiting on my shipping confirmation. What?
I just really hope that the promise that is made on the secret layer website since the beginning is printed once and never again. And to this point, that has held. But secret layers are only like, what, 2 or 3 years old? Is how long we've had these being thrown at us. So
yeah, just so long as the art in that moment is on some sort of license that says it can't be printed on another card. I haven't read any of the literature around secret layer. Yeah. I don't know about their licensing agreements or how any of that is. I don't even know if that's public knowledge, or that if we're privy to that information, if we want to be. But yeah. Did you get any mill cards from the new set?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
No, from Innistrad?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mill and self-mill has been a...
I want to see what we got.
Yeah. Let's pivot over now, y'all. We're going to talk about Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Again, thanks for everybody hanging out. The first part of the stream, we were talking about art series cards. If you've got any art series cards that are gold stamped from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, you may want to check the price of those, because there are some of those that are worth $5-10. 3 of them in particular that are worth more than 10. So you might want to check that. You might have some free money sitting around if you bought set boosters of that set. We're going to pivot over into Innistrad Midnight Hunt. We've got the full spoiler out now. Jake and I are going to go through, talk about some of our favorite cards. Also, just sort of poke through the set. We haven't really done that yet. Jake and I both we're always very busy. So this is a good time for us to sort of poke through, do some exploration, and see what it is that we've got. Let's look at the mill cards.
Without drafting the set, I will say this. If you're hanging out, if you're like, man, I want to play limited, any of the stuff with Disturb is going to be really good in limited. Just without even playing it, I'm going to tell you, that's going to be the kind of stuff that's going to win games, the stuff that's going to come back from the graveyard late game. It's going to outpace your opponent's removal and their velocity, and it will win you the game. So look for those kind of cards. Expect people to be drafting those.
So,
just my opinion.
Because, Jake, it's a flashback set, self-mill is a big theme. Looking at these, you're not really getting any love for your modern mill deck at all.
Oh, I see. Okay.
A lot of it is enters the battlefield mill 3, enters the battlefield mill 2. So it's about trying to get your flashback stuff into the graveyard and use it.
Get Delirium online.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Delirium in this? Did they bring Delirium back?
I don't think that keyword is in here.
Oh, I see.
But I do think that I do think it's used
Disturb
as just text.
Disturb is kind of like flashback, kind of like Eternalize. It reminds me of Eternalize.
It's creature flashback. Right, exactly. They just used with flip card on it this time. I want to look at that this guy. Let's see what this guy's deal is. When Ludovic enters the battlefield or attacks, you mill a card. You can pay 4 exile X creature cards from your graveyard. You transform Ludovic. Activate only as a sorcery. As the permanent becomes Ludovic's Hubris. Oh wow, Ludovic's really done himself in this time. Oh wow, turned himself into a monster of some sort. Olag, Ludovic's Hubris. It becomes a copy of one of the exiled cards, except its name is Olag and it has base power and toughness 4/4. And it's a black and blue legendary zombie in addition to its other types. Put a +1/+1 counter on it for each card exiled this way. There's a lot to unpack here, but this seems really good. It's not a mill card. That's what I was trying to figure out, was if it was a mill card for Jake's modern mill deck. Jake, there's a lot of...
One foil Moon Mist is like $10. Jeez, 15.
Everybody should have hide thee to the eBay after we made that video.
Well, I bought a ton of Innistrad, so I mean, I still have all my commons from back then, so I probably have like 8 to 12 of these if I had to guess. They're only like $1 right now. I just don't see if I still don't know if werewolves are gonna have the legs. I still don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mean, how many werewolves did we get? I guess we could look at them all right now. Can we just look at all the werewolves?
Yeah, we'll come back to Lord of the Forsaken. Let's go to the set. We'll go type.
I mean, Lord of the Forsaken, pretty cool. Pretty cool card.
We got 19 werewolves. Jeez, that seems so low for a werewolf themed set. Did we get more vampires? 15.
Hold on. Okay, so that means that in the next set we should expect some werewolves as well. That's what my gut is telling me, is that they're gonna finish them out.
Of our 150 creatures in the set, that's so wild. 19 of them are werewolves.
Midnight Hunt.
Right. Has 150 creatures in it. 15 of them are vampires, and 19 of them are werewolves. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Card Shop, what's up?
Card Shop Reality, what's going on?
It's very interesting that that's all we got. But, you know, it is what it is. We got some very cool cards.
All right, so what are our best werewolves then that we got?
Let's see. We'll just sort by rarity. Brutal Cathar.
Okay, so they came in all colors, which is the first thing that's kind of an oof to me.
Yeah, all colors.
Whatever.
Every color gets a werewolf.
Yeah. Okay.
At least one. We already talked about Brutal Cathar. This is the one that's a removal spell, but it's not in the colors of the commander.
That's probably one of the best.
This is essentially the commander. So it's red-green. So, you know, black, that ward of discard a card seems really good. ETBs or attacks, you exile a card from a graveyard, seems really good. Lose a life, gain a life. And you're exiling 2 on the other side. Seems really good. Seems really possible. I haven't seen this one yet. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Oh, wow. 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 That's actually really good. I like that. At 3 mana, I do wish it had flying. It looks like it's got flying, so that's frustrating. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains trample and haste until end of turn. So this is a good one. This is a good one. It's in the colors.
Yeah.
This one rolls nicely.
2/3 in the 3 drop.
Yeah. Transforms into the 3/4. You're giving stuff haste every combat. It's in the colors. Works for me. Suspicious Stowaway can't be blocked when it deals combat, draw, and discard. And then the werewolf version can't be blocked when it deals combat damage, draw. Seafaring.
That's good. Can't be blocked, draw a card is pretty good. What's the casting cost on the other side?
A blue and 1.
It's the wrong colors, man.
Yep, wrong colors. Good card, wrong colors.
Huntmaster, 2 green, 4 other. That's just too top heavy.
Oh, dude, no. Are you serious? This is like Grave Titan, but for wolves. 2 green, 4 other, 6/6 ETBs create 2/2/2s, and then the other side, ETBs or attacks, you create 2/2/2s. 4, your werewolves can fight something.
Another target wolf or werewolf you control fights. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good to have on a creature. Yeah.
I love green wolf Grave Titan.
It's just kind of expensive, dude. But in EDH, it's, you know,
yeah, it's
you would run it.
Right. I mean, I think this is a really good green creature, period, in EDH. I mean, it's 10 power onto the battlefield for 6 mana.
Yeah.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad.
No,
and
it's
then,
not bad.
And then if you can flip it somehow, you're creating more power every single time you swing.
Yeah, you create 2 more 2/2s.
Right.
That card 1,000,000% will win games in draft.
Oh, dude.
And limited. That is a
Oh my
huge
God.
bomb. Massive.
Yeah. This is
Can't really come back from that. That go wide on that is just a lot.
This is like I've drafted blue black this entire draft, and I open this pack 3. I guess I'm gonna force green somehow.
Fuzz Jake, it's a creature, it sucks.
Yes, correct. That is how Jake analyzes creatures. Does it have a toughness? I don't like it. We know Tovolar, Bane Blade Scoundrels in the wrong colors, but when it becomes blocked, each creature blocking it gets -1/-1. And whenever it becomes blocked, same thing on the back. Whenever a creature blocking it dies, that creature's controller loses a life. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
I like when you show the cards real big instead of your heads, DPT. We know you like that.
That's your favorite
and
thing.
We like that you like that.
Burly Breakers got Ward 1. 6/5 for 5 with Ward 1. I would play this in draft or sealed for sure. And then it becomes Ward 3 on an 8/7 on the back. Missing trample on this card, but you can't have everything.
I'm not seeing the big, huge werewolves here.
Fang Blade has a sort of flamethrower ability. And then the back has the flamethrower or a war cry. Hound Tamer, trampling 3/3 for 3. Oh, that you can dump mana into. This is a limited all-star right here. Trampling 3/3 for 3 that you can dump mana into and put +1/+1 counters on your creatures. Yes, that is a good limited card. Same thing on the back, except it gives all your werewolves and wolves trample. So this is a good one.
Do you feel like you're seeing the pieces for the EDH deck yet?
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah. I do like the Sacrifice Outline Liberator, destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's kind of cool. Werewolf with some versatility. It's a nice little hate bear.
Oh wow, attacks on the attack trigger, destroy an artifact or enchantment defending player controls.
That's good.
So you could swing into certain doom, get the attack trigger, destroy an artifact or enchantment, pay 1 sack it, destroy an artifact or enchantment. That's not a bad card.
Mm-mm.
The problem with these daybound, nightbound things is there really is no... You're just not... You've got to run stuff that's like physically forcing the change from day to night, because if a player casts no spells during their own turn, it becomes night. Are you kidding? Are you serious? That's never going to happen in EDH. So you've got to
unless
force
you're
it.
playing a bunch of reactive stuff. Yeah,
still, but I mean, you're not going to be running Tovalar as your commander and only running instants, you know. Let's look at spell room. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, so this has got prowess and prowess. So this is a werewolf with prowess. Interesting.
Okay, it's just it's a little bit expensive, the 2/3, but once it flips, it's good. It's really good once it flips.
This art is awesome.
Yeah.
Village Watch has got hasty 4/3, and then this gives other werewolves and wolves haste and grows in power and toughness. Reach, I bet this does the same thing. Oh, nope. It is just a reachy 3/5 when it transforms. Trampling 3/2. We're into the commons now. You can tell they're all French vanilla. 4/4 Trampler on the back. Menace 2/3. Menace 4/4.
I do like French vanilla, though. It's delicious.
French vanilla, baby. Hey, look at this. This dude is just like...
Chef, it sounds like your pre-release kits are going to be 3 kits shorter than normal. 15 instead of 18. That's weird. Is that a new change moving forward that we would expect from Wizards of the Coast?
Look, I know I know what Moon Mist is. Everybody, Bobby keeps yelling Moon Mist at me like he's gone crazy with the werewolf.
Moon Mist.
It is a one-time use. This is an instant. I know that it does the transform thing, but dude.
No, it's good. I mean, it's fine. If you have to play that, you would play that in the deck.
Oh yeah, it would go in there for sure.
It would. It's not ideal, but
no. I'm talking more like, what is that? What's that artifact? Set is the Midnight Hunt, MNH.
You guys sound like you're dealing hard drugs. I just bought some Moon Mist, Bobby Z.
I love the Celestis. This is what I'm talking about. You gotta have cards in there like the Celestis. Jake designed this card. You pay 3, and if it's night, it becomes day. Otherwise, it becomes night. Boom.
I wanted this card to be 1 cost, and all it was going to say is if a wolf or werewolf would enter the battlefield under your control and it isn't transformed, to transform it.
Yeah. Y'all, we're still looking at... We've got a lot of Midnight Hunt spoilers to go through here. We are going to be running our Patreon giveaway. It's a way that we give back to our Patreon every month. We give away 4 bundles of whatever the current set
15
is.
15 a case. Yes, new change. Sorry. Okay.
No, you're good. We're going to be giving away 4 bundles to our patrons at the end of this stream, and you can still get in on that giveaway if you want. Go over to our Patreon. The link is down in the description. Click on support at any level. You're automatically entered into this month's giveaway, which is going to run in about 45 to an hour.
Yes.
So you've got to be able to force these things back and forth. You cannot count on daybound, nightbound. That ain't a thing. That ain't a thing.
That's what they say.
Jake, let's take a look at the... Okay, so we know about werewolves now, and we checked on Mill. Let's take a look at the mythics that we have not reviewed yet. We've talked about Arlen. We have not talked about any of the any of this cycle, the adversary cycle. Have you seen these?
All
of these cards in the adversary cycle, when it ETBs, you can pay more mana. It's almost like a kicker. It's like multi-kicker, but they didn't put that into the set. So when it ETBs, gotcha. You multi-kicker of 3, and every time you kick Bloodthirst Adversary, then exile up to that many target instant and sorceries with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard, copy them, cast any number of the copies without paying mana. So if you've got Bloodthirsty Adversary and you're drawing it late and you've already got 5 mana, you pay 2, then it comes into the battlefield, you pay 3. That's going to put a +1/+1 counter on the adversary, and then you get to exile that many, so 1, an instant or sorcery with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard, and cast it for free. This is another
it's
way.
Okay.
Jake,
I'm medium on it.
Medium on the Bloodthirsty Adversary. I think that card is a kick-ass. I think that much like Dreadhorde Arcanist, we completely missed on our evaluation of that one at the beginning. This is the kind of card that when shenanigans like that start happening, somebody that's a better deck builder than me is going to be able to break the hell out of this card. And I'm going to be like, well, here comes the Bloodthirsty Adversary, and you know that means that I'm getting lightning bolted again. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. And so I just feel like it's going to absolutely blow up.
Yeah.
Intrepid Adversary is the white.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to see it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Let's look at these others. When it ETBs, you can pay 2 any number of times, a white and 1 other. Whenever you pay this cost 1 or more times, you put that many Valor counters on Intrepid Adversary. Creatures you control get +1/+1 for each Valor counter on Intrepid Adversary, and that counts itself. So for 6 mana, let's say, for 6 mana,
you get a 5/3 that gives everything else
+2/+2. 5/3 +2/+2, and it's got lifelink.
I do like this because it's a kind of card that gets better later in the game. Like early on, it's a 3/1 lifelink for 2, which is, not great, but
Right.
not terrible. I mean, lifelink on a 3/1, a lot of the time we see it in Draft Chafe, the 1 white, 1 other 3/1, right?
Right.
But it never has lifelink on it. It never has a built-in anthem that comes with the fact that these aren't legendary as well is really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a pretty cool card. I think the red one I like less. I do like the one with the anthem.
Primal Adversary enters the battlefield. You can pay a green and 1 other any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on your adversary, and then up to that many target lands you control become 3/3 wolf creatures with haste. So again, let's run the exercise. If we kick it twice, you'll be paying 7 mana for a 6/4 trampler that can make 2 lands 3/3 wolves with haste.
This one is fucking insanely good. This one is way over the top fucking good.
It's a lot of power onto the battlefield out of nowhere.
Converting lands late game into this, and this is obviously in the colors where you can do this a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah, it's only 2 mana.
You could do this easily for 7 all the time in these colors. Thank God it doesn't have flash. Jeez. That's a really strong card.
It's an interesting one because I remember, playing against Hydroid Krasis in those decks a year or 2 ago, and they would have so much freaking mana to cast this, dude.
Yeah.
It would absolutely they would be able to overrun you with 3/3 hasty wolves. You wouldn't even need the big beater back that couldn't attack till the next turn.
I could see this going in like some sort of like Bant control kind of build where you just like control the board, counter stuff, wipe the board, and then just cast this, turn all your lands.
Bobby, that's a good point.
3/3s get through. It's a strong card.
I miss that it does not untap those lands. It makes them 3/3 wolves, but if you use them to cast this, then you're not going to be able to attack with them this turn.
Oh yes, that is a good catch. Good catch there.
Yep, that does power it down just a little bit. We got 74
people watching. Is there any possibility that we could get the 69 likes? That would be awesome.
When Spectral Adversary enters the battlefield, you can pay a blue and 1 any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Then that many other target artifacts, creatures, or enchantments phase out.
This one's pretty good, in my opinion.
I mean, flash removal, you can phase something out. I mean, for 4 mana, you could phase out their critical blocker at the EOT and get a 3/2 flyer to boot. Not to mention, phasing out their crucial enchantment that they want to cast. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to figure out how I feel about it. I mean,
phasing out is something they've brought back.
A 2/1 flyer with flash. I mean, back in the day, geez, that would have been amazing, right?
Let's look at the black one. Tainted Adversary. When it ETBs, you can pay 3 any number of times. When you do, put that many +1/+1 counters on it, then create twice that many 2/2 zombie creature tokens that are decayed.
A creature decayed can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. So this goes super wide, but then the tokens go away.
Right. 8 mana. If you doing the twice triggered exercise, you're paying 8 mana for a 4/5 with Death Touch.
Yeah.
That brings in 4 2/2 zombies that are either going to get sacrificed to something else, or you're going to have to sacrifice once you attack with them.
Yeah.
It's an interesting cycle. I really do think that some great deck builder is going to break Bloodthirsty Adversary, and we're going to be talking about this card for a card that free
pay
spells,
red
man.
and 2 other any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many 1/1 counters on Bloodthirsty Adversary, then exile up to that many target instant or sorcery cards with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard and copy them. I mean, it does have like recipe for shenanigans all over it, but it does require mana to get this done.
For sure. But that's look at it in mode 1. You've got a 2/2 hasty for 2. So that's going to fit fine into your aggro deck. If you draw this and you've got 5 mana, so you're like mid game, and a burn deck is going to get to 5 mana before the game is won, most likely.
Sure.
You've got a 3/3 haster that's going to let you flashback Lightning Bolt for free. It's going to let you flashback a Braid for free. I feel like free spells, man. Free spells always get it.
Yeah, free spells are good. Anything that lets you go back to the graveyard and use something again. I know I say that all the time. I sound like a broken record. Card Shop says, Jake, here's some inside info. Us, WPN stores, non-premium, got an allocation of both set and draft booster boxes for this set, usually just for set boxes here in the USA this past year. So that means that they are expecting, or at least I would infer that they're expecting there to be some demand for people wanting to draft this, people going back to the store. So that's good news. Like to hear it.
This adversary cycle is great, Jake. This continues the same conversation that we've been having for almost a year now, which is it seems like they are trying to mitigate the number of non-games that you have in MTG. This is just another way of them doing that to me, just like a modal dual face card is making sure that, or trying to help you not get mana screwed or mana flooded. This is trying to keep you from, it's turn 8 and I drew my 2-drop again. That's not going to help me to draw my 2/2 with haste right now. Bloodthirsty Adversary is also going to let you flash back that 3-cost spell, that 2-cost spell.
I mean, Bloodthirsty Adversary in like a red-green alongside Primal Adversary, I imagine you could get some crazy stuff done in there.
Well, in a looting deck too, Jake. I mean, Bloodthirsty Adversary comes back for 5, gets to ETB as a 3/3 haster, and recast your like Cathartic Reunion or whatever the hell you're running.
Yeah. I mean, even if it just hits like, like a lightning bolt or something like that. Yeah, I'm sure that there's something there, but it's just, for me, I'm looking at the 5 mana investment before you're doing anything, right? Where like Snapcaster Mage ETBs, and you're not paying anything else until you decide to look into that graveyard and figure out what you want to play. So this one, it's a little bit different. I do like the body that it leaves behind a lot more than Snapcaster Mage. It's just a little bit expensive.
I want to see if we have got, I'm going to go CMC less than or equal to 3. Where is it? Here we go. Nope.
This is kind of funny, Joel. I want to share this with you on stream. We got a notification from somebody that said Catalyst Stone went up 500% this week and Devoted Caretaker went up 300% this year. Good calls, guys. And that comes from a little video way back, Commander Sleeper Series Odyssey. So Catalyst Stone, for anybody who doesn't know, is the card that affects cards with flashback. So we this video that this person, this commenter is talking about, this would have came out all the way back in June 12th of 2020. We were talking about Odyssey Sleepers for EDH. And yeah, when you have a set like Innistrad come out, I'll bring this up for anybody who wants to, or I'll just read it for you. But it's just an artifact, 2-cost artifact that says flashback cost you pay cost up to 2 less, and flashback costs your opponents pay cost 2 more. So the more flashback we get, the more that becomes like kind of like a flashback deck kind of thing, for example. The more you're going to have old cards like that go up in price. I mean, that's a pretty intense card, right? Flashback costs you pay cost up to 2 less.
Oh yeah,
you're going to be able to do a lot of stuff. So when we're talking about cards like these, I mean, these don't have flashback, but when they do, you're going to be able to do a lot more when you have something as simple as a 2-cost artifact sitting on the battlefield.
I'm looking at possible targets in future standard, Jake, for Bloodthirsty Adversary. What are the, and I'm only looking at red spells. I'm not going outside that. I know that there are way better spells in other colors. I'm just looking at red spells here. You've got Cathartic Pirate, deal 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker, discard up to 2, then draw that many. That's not bad. It's not a bad flashback target there. You got some versatility on there. You got destroy target artifact with you find some prisoners, destroy an artifact, or you get to exile top 3, choose one of the opponent's library, choose one, and then you can cast it with any mana.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, dual strike is interesting too. Next instant or sorcerer with CMC 4 or less, you copy. So then you play something out of your hand like Frostbite, or what's the other 1 mana? And there's another 1 mana one, but Demon Bolt, that's not bad. Or you go this route, Jake, and you go Insubordinate Rage, +3/+2 until end of turn, on top of your 3/3 Bloodthirsty Adversary. So for 5 mana, you're creating a hasty 6/5, and you get to scry one.
Yeah. No, I mean, there are plenty of spells that it can target. And again, I'm sure that somebody's going to find a way to do something with it. It's just a little bit of a hefty cost.
Oh yeah.
I mean.
Oh yeah, I don't want to sort by mana value. I want to sort by rarity. Okay, so we talked about
music on the stream. I just realized now I can't hear it. Is there supposed to be music on? Did you have music on?
Yeah, there is music going on. Oops. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Curse Commander, Dustin. I mean, with the Curse Commander, all that really is to say is it's good. Run that if you want to run curses. We finally have a good Curse Commander. Enduring Angels, a 5 mana 3/3, Jake. Oh, we talked about this one, didn't we? We talked about that one.
Yes.
What mythics have we not talked about? Hostile. Did we talk about this one? I don't think we did. So this is pay 1, sack a creature, put a soul counter on it. Then if there are 3 or more soul counters on it, remove them and transform it. And then it's a 3/7 that when you attack, you exile a creature card from your graveyard. And if you do, each opponent loses X, and you gain X, where X is the number of creature cards exiled with creeping in. So you want to get like multiple attacks in with it. And with the phase out, I'm assuming you can do that at instant speed. So you can get this, you know, like attack with it. And if you're attacking into certain doom, just phase out. It survives. Creature cards exiled from your graveyard. And every time creeping in is attacking, each opponent's losing X and you're gaining X, where X is 1 more every turn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the 7 toughness is pretty nice.
At Mythic, though, this is a very interesting land. It is called
Problem
hostile.
is that you have to sack a creature to get this going.
Oh yeah.
So
you must.
What is cool is that this effect is on a land. So this isn't taking up a slot out of your spells, but you do. I could see this maybe popping up in some sort of strategy.
The thing that keeps this one down for me, Jake, is that it's activate only as a sorcery. You cannot react to one of your things dying anyway by getting some value. That's what I don't like about this.
Right.
It does max out at 3. It does not say may. You get 3 or more soul counters on it, you remove those counters, you transform it, then untap it. But it's only checking when you sacrifice a creature, pay 1 at sorcery speed. It's chunky, it's clunky.
Z, it is clunky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chunky and clunky. Jake, our demon Ormondal came back in this set. We got Jaren Corrupted Bishop. Whenever it ETBs or another human, non-token human dies. Okay, so whenever Jaren ETBs or another non-token human dies, you control. You lose a life and you create a 1/1 white human creature token. Then you can also pay 2 to have target human you control gain lifelink until end of turn. And then at the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 at the beginning of your end step, exactly 13, you can pay 6 and transform Jaren into Ormondal, the Corrupta, who's got flying, trample, lifelink, and you sack creatures to draw cards.
You know what bums me out about this is it's so hard to turn on,
dude,
and then it doesn't have any sort of indestructibility or.
The first time I saw this, I was just like, okay, well, I'll put money on how many times ever anybody in a game is going to see Ormondal the Corruptor on their battlefield.
Bobby Z, this is a card I want Moon Mist for with Maskwood Nexus. Yeah, I will say this. Maskwood Nexus is going to see an uptick more and more. It's been the best pickup from Call Time for me, hands down. And yeah, it's because of just weird shenanigans that you can do. Yeah, that's an interesting one. If you can force the transform, it's interesting. What do you think of it, Joel? Do you like it?
Oh, no. It's too hard to transform. I love the first piece. ETBs or another controller dies, you lose a life and create a 1/1. So for 3 mana, you're playing Jaren onto the battlefield, you're automatically losing a life, and you're also creating a 1/1 human creature token.
Yeah.
You can give Jaren or any of your creature tokens, human creature tokens, lifelink for just 2 mana. That's not bad. Plus, if your non-token human dies, you get a 1/1 onto the battlefield. That in and of itself, I think, is enough for me to just like this card as like maybe a Orzhov Humans inclusion.
Yeah.
But dude, 100%. I want to know if it's going to be in single digits. The number of people ever in the history of the world that see Ormondal legitimately transformed on their battlefield and ready to be like, I'm a 6/6 flying trample lifelinker and you can sacrifice a creature to me and you'll get to draw a card. I just don't think anybody's ever going to do it. It's got to be your end step. You've got to have exactly 13 and you got to have 6 mana ready to go.
Yeah.
Why is it so difficult to transform this? Why doesn't it have hexproof or indestructible on the back being so difficult to transform?
Will you look up the transform of Westvale Abbey? I'm pretty sure that had something nuts built into it. I know that it was like a 9/9. Might have even been more.
Yeah, but people play this.
Oh, this card was absolutely a house when it was in the format back in the day.
Right, and this is Ormondal. This is what I was saying. He's back.
Right. So let's look at this one. There it is. Flying lifelink, indestructible haste. Exactly. Once you flip it, this thing needs to be exiled or it wins you the game. It's hard to flip, right?
Right.
You have to sacrifice 5 creatures to do it. The other one, you have to get to 13. Or is that even Ormondal? It is, right? The one you're showing me?
Yeah, this is Ormondal here. Oh, you're talking about this side?
So this one needs to get to 13. No. It's too fucking difficult. No, it's bad.
You got to be at exactly 13. You got to pay 6 mana at your end step. I do like, I mean, look, once you've transformed it, if you've created a lot of 1/1 tokens with the other side, you can sacrifice those to draw cards. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But honestly, just like you've said, man, you got pay 5, sack 5, transform it. Done. Pay 5, sack 5. That is not that difficult. Plus, it also gives you a route to go to make 1/1s.
Right.
If you want to go that route, but you don't even have to. Just use anything else to make creature tokens. Sacrifice 5, and it's not non-token.
Well, that is the reason why this card is super nice, right? Because in Control, after you've blown up the battlefield, what you could do is you could be like EOT, pay 5. Like when you've stayed up with, like, say, any type of counter spell or any type of, removal. EOT, make a human. EOT, make a human. EOT, make a human. EOT, sack 5 humans. Ormondal. And then once you have it on the battlefield, you have the indestructible in there.
That's why the control decks would win by just...
Yeah, because the control decks didn't care. They would just blow up the battlefield and then win creating tokens. And then eventually you get this huge Westvale Abbey online.
Right. Yeah. And that's always been a win con for control decks, is a land that makes 1/1s.
Right.
Castle Ardenvale was huge for the blue-white deck of its time because it was either that or like Dream Trawler, right? I think were their finishers. Maybe the Pegasus. Pegasus. But anyway, you're absolutely right. That's how control decks.
Yeah, this new Ormondal, not good. Not good.
Jake, I'm going to open up Lear here. I'm going to go take a 2-second bio. I'll be right back.
Yeah, this card is good. This is like one of the reasons that Catalyst Stone would be going up. I don't know what I paid for it back in the day, but I bought a foil Catalyst Stone at one point. Near mint, unplayed. I imagine it is worth more than I paid for it. Oh yeah, there's one available. And it's over in the UK for $69. Oh yeah, so this would have had a big uptick. Yep. Those old border foils, man. People cannot lay off the old border foils. They don't make them like they used to. That's right. BRB grabbing a beer. Cheers, everyone. Sincere Tony. Thanks for hanging out. Griff, thanks for hanging out. If you are enjoying the stream, click like and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel. I know I say that all the time, but I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. Did everybody have a good day? How was everybody's week? We made it through a serious week. Or I don't know if it was serious, but it was a serious week. One thing I want to let everybody know, we do have a couple episodes of War of the Spark coming up. Foil quests, where we're going to be opening Japanese War of the Spark booster boxes. So if that's interesting to you, if you think that would be fun, make sure that you're subscribed.
Lear is good.
Yeah, Lear is good.
What are we looking up right now?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Just talking about stuff.
I put the art for Lear, Disciple of the Drowned, in our Discord. Check out our Discord if you're not in there. Lots of good convo going in there all day. Lear, Disciple of the Drowned is maybe my favorite art piece from the entire set. I just really love this wizard standing on the rocks of the coast in the middle of a rainstorm. Sick. Each instant sorcery has flashback and equal to its mana cost. Dude, this is so good. This is so good. This goes right into the 99 of a lot of EDH decks that are already running a lot of instants and sorceries.
A lot of EDH decks. It's a very, very powerful card, what it does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love
it's a
this
strong one.
Love this one for EDH. Is that one that has an alternate? Oh yeah. I don't like this piece as much.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's cool, I get it. And it's all it probably looks better in person, right? So this is the treatment from the set that's like that, what do they call it? Everlasting Night or something like that. I'm not 100% sure what they called it, but I bet these look awesome in person. It's like, as I was talking about how excited I am about the lands, getting those in that foil with the foil inked edging or whatever the hell they're calling it. I really think that these will look cooler in hand than they do on the computer screen. So Jake, let's talk about Lord of the Forsaken. This was one that we saw late in the cycle and got a ton going for it. 6 mana, 6/6. It flies, it tramples. You pay 1 and sack a creature, so it's a sacrifice outlet. Target player mills 3 cards, so it's a self-mill or a mill outlet. Pay 1 life, it's a mana reducer. Pay 1 life to add a colorless. Even though it's only casting spells from your graveyard restricted. Dude, cost reduction for life is broken. A sacrifice outlet for 1 mana, solid. Self-mill, probably broken. And then you also get an on-curve trampling flying 6/6 for 6 mana to boot. I feel like if we had seen this card when we started playing again back in Zendikar, I think we would have had a brain aneurysm.
It's a trap. I think it's a trap, dude.
You think this card is a trap?
It costs too much mana. I think if you reanimate it in EDH, I think you could do some crazy stuff with it for sure. But I just think the casting cost out the gate is nuts. It's nuts.
This seems so good, dude. There's so many words on this card.
Like with Grizzlebrand, for example. Like once you get Grizzlebrand on the battlefield, you just like win with it, right? This is I don't know. It's not as good as Grizzlebrand, but Grizzlebrand is banned because it is too good. So, I mean,
Sour Weasel, good to see you.
Yeah,
Zach,
cheating it out for
good
1
to see
black
you.
mana is nice.
Yeah, of course. Obvi. It's just, this card seems so nuts to me. And obviously it's that.
I mean, there's no downside to it, which is cool. I mean, once
better
you get
than
it out there, it's just very good.
Set, Amonkhet, type, demon, rarity, mythic, right? Wasn't there like a, damn. Amonkhet, what is, let me just type it out. Oh, I thought there was like a, oh, maybe it was a rare. No. Oh, was it in the next one? What was the one after that called? Amonkhet. It was Hour of Devastation. HOD? That's not right. Oh, Lord. What was the name of the... What was the name of the demon from Amonkhet that Liliana ate with alligators?
Oh, I don't know. Jesus. I don't remember that.
Dude, you really should read the lore. So this is what happens.
I guess so.
There's a demon.
Sounds like it.
You know how Liliana was like, Razzmatazz? It is something like Razzmatazz. Halcyon, you're not that far off. Okay, so Jake, do you know enough about Liliana's lore to know that she was bound contractually to a bevy of demons? You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Sure.
the short version of this is that one of those demons showed up on Amonkhet to collect, and Liliana was like, fuck you, bitch, I'm about to kill your ass. So they're fighting, the demon's getting the upper hand, but then Liliana falls into a river there on Amonkhet, and the river has a bunch of dead crocodiles in it because the war is like going on. Bolus has come back and already started his thing. So it is Hour of Devastation now that I'm thinking about it. Thank you, chat.
Gotcha.
Okay. So she resurrects hundreds of dead zombie alligators and eats the demon.
Oh, God.
Eats him. And they got, dude, the lore of this, the writing of the lore of this First of all, this is back when I really loved the lore and I was reading it every week. But the lore of this, they wrote it so that she was like, she could feel what the alligators were feeling. And so it felt to Liliana like she was biting into this demon over and over again. And she could physically feel the sensation while she was resurrecting and mind controlling these zombie alligators. She could feel the sensation as though she was eating this demon alive. It was brutal. Razaketh. That's it.
Yeah. That sounds
this
brutal.
Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. At least it's not an 8 mana 8/8 demon, you know? Lord of the Forsaken's a little bit better than that. Playable, not playable. But also, Razaketh's ability is really, really good. Card shop. I've actually pitched that idea to Jake. I took like some sort of version of Drunk History or something like that, where I tell the lore to Jake, or Jake reads the lore and then has to recount it drunk without the script or something like that. I think that could be a really funny segment. But Razaketh, all of that to say, that was a detour down lore world where Joel used to live. After Ixalan, I stopped. Well, honestly, it was the War of the Spark novel. I read that.
I mean, I guess Razaketh is pretty... What's the price of Razaketh?
$23. Jesus.
Geez, so people do play that. We'll go to TCG decks.
Oh, well, dude,
at the bottom.
Dude,
let's see.
In EDH, this is so easy to get into your graveyard and recur, and then you've got a 2-life sack outlet. So this is essentially an infinite sack outlet, free, 2 life. We don't care about life in EDH. And you get to search the library for a card right into your hand.
Hasbro says books are for nerds.
Bro,
That's
the
right.
War of the Spark book was so bad.
Yeah, it's a commander card.
Yeah.
So it's all because of commander. Oh, it's in first sliver, probably for combo potential.
The War of the Spark novel was one of the worst books, if not the worst book I've ever read. I hated it. It was miserable. I finished it. I thought I was going to make content about it. I read it and said, I never want to think about that again.
Jeez. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
It was my choice. I mean, it was a good story setup, man. He's tricking every planeswalker in the multiverse to all go to one place. He's going to kill them all at the same time and suck their magic up. That ain't a bad story. It's a good setup.
Yeah. No, that's not bad.
And they fucked it. They absolutely fucked it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's tough.
Yeah. So
it's
the
a tough
demon,
situation.
The demon, that was the entire thing here, Jake. The demon. You're not impressed. You're not impressed by Lord of the Forsaken.
No, I'm not. I'm not impressed by it. I just think it's a little bit too expensive to get online. I think that standard will like it, but even once it's like online in standard, like, okay, you do have a flying trampling 6/6 that dies to any kind of removal.
Oh God, dies to removal. Everybody write it down.
It does die to removal, but 1 black, sack another creature, target player mills 3 cards. So if you have plenty of stuff to mill your opponent, then great. But I mean, you're like incentivized to play disturb stuff, flashback stuff, which isn't typically flashback, especially isn't typically, you know, I mean, I know that there are black cards with flashback, but I just don't know how potent that pay 1 life to add is going to be if it's restricted to graveyard. I think in EDH it could do things.
I was going to say, do you want in EDH? You're wrong about that, but yeah, you knew in EDH it's fantastic.
In EDH it will do things, but I don't think that I don't know how much standard will want it.
No. Yeah, and mostly we're looking at these through the EDH lens anyway, so I like it in EDH. I really think it's good. Any cost reducer, a sack outlet for 1 mana that you can use an infinite amount of times as long as you got creatures and mana. You know,
yeah.
That's a create infinite token. You know, I bet I can make a short just like how to create infinite tokens and infinite mana and then sack them on Lord of the Forsaken and mill out all your opponents. That could that could be cute.
Hey y'all, is there a foil quest happening next week? I am waiting until I do have 2 people that have signed up for foil quest. I had a seller that did not send me boxes, and so I had to do a chargeback, and so I'm behind on those boxes and waiting for them to arrive.
Oh yeah, Corey, this is definitely a Kalia demon for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jake.
No, I think it would be fine in Kalia for sure. It's a cool card.
Yeah.
It's a cool card. It's just expensive. That's all.
Did we talk about Moonveil Regent?
I don't know if we did. We can if you want. It's a pretty strong card.
4 mana flyer. Whenever you cast, you can discard your hand.
Yes.
If you do, you draw a card for each of that spell's colors.
Mm-hmm.
So you really want to be hell-bent with this thing on the battlefield. And then when it dies, it deals X damage to any target where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. That's a cute little extra. That first ability, though, that's where the power of this card lies.
Right.
Every time you cast a spell, this is actually insane. This is a Storm Dex. If you're hell-bent, Jake,
mm-hmm.
which essentially you can make yourself if you don't have anything of value or you're just ready to combo off. Right. Every time you cast a spell, you draw a card. This is very interesting. This is like, oh, what's that banned artifact? Every time you, I just made a short about it. The artifact that every time you cast a spell, you untap all permanents you control.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
It reminds me of that a little bit, except with cast trigger draw cards. So if you've got something built in that's going to let you untap your lands. Yeah, this is a Storm card, dude. This is so good for Storm. Holy crap. It's also good for like feather decks. If those are still a thing. Because getting her out there with enough mana to then protect her and then keep drawing spells that you can target her with. I mean, people were running that like +1/+1 draw card just because it said draw a card on it. Paradox Engine. Thank you, Halcyon.
Wow, neighbor brought me a bottle of Hennessy. Yes, game on. Enjoy that, sincere Tony.
Bring me a bottle of Hennessy. We talked about Poppet Stitcher last stream. Primal Adversary, we talked about those. So we got Sigarda, Champion of Light, Jake. 4/4 flying trample for 4, 2 white, 1 other, green and 1 other. Humans you control get +1/+1, and then when it attacks, if you've got Coven, which is 3 or more creatures with different powers, you can reveal a creature card from your hand. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal a creature card, put it into your hand.
Mm-hmm.
This is I love how this is like for Commander, a backdoor humans tribal, like casual humans tribal card. This is very good for that, because
I can see that.
Instead of stapling the words draw a card onto this commander to make it a good commander, they do the sort of exploration thing, which is look at a chunk, pull what you want, put the rest on the bottom.
It's not my favorite colors. It's actually my least favorite colors.
I was gonna say it's actually your least favorite colors. Yeah, I know. It's definitely a casual card. I just like the design that, it's a good curve, flying 4/4 and trample all for 4 mana, plus an anthem, which is normally like 2 mana minimum, plus on the attack trigger. That I think is my least favorite part about this card, is that it's an attack trigger and not just like an upkeep or an end of turn or a whenever something dies, that kind of trigger.
I mean, it is velocity. It does allow you to kind of go run a toolbox assortment of creatures and try to grab certain things, but
Jake does hate Selesnya.
I do.
Whenever we review cards, if it's Selesnya, Jake's like, okay, well, first off, it's bad.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's some really good Selesnya cards. I just don't like playing those colors unless they have black with them. Like I will play Selesnya black. Whenever
Sigardian Savior enters the battlefield, if you cast it, so they got around blink here. They said you're not blinking this thing and it's not going to be broken, it's just going to be solid. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return up to 2 target creature cards with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That seems really good. Put 2 of these in your white weenie deck. get two.
Yeah, that's good.
2 1-drops or 2-drops back onto the battlefield. I love that it is gonna give you 2 creatures, period, up to anyway, and not like return 3 mana's worth of creatures from the graveyard to the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of the, what is it? Is it the Lurus ability? There's something that, oh, it's that Call of the Fen
This is
Dweller.
going to become very strong with like Dauntless Bodyguards, like that kind of stuff. That's like the
Yes.
savior,
Loyal Guard Hounds.
right? Any of that kind of stuff
Yes.
that's like a 1 mana where you sacrifice it, give something
my
protection
God.
or indestructible. Then this card becomes really, really annoying to see, because the thing is that cards like those kind of act like a flag bearer, right?
Right.
You like have to deal with them before you start dealing with the threat, and this card just gets them back. It's not even legendary. It's a 3/3 flyer that's going to go get back all those pesky utility creatures. You know what's really interesting about those creatures like those, is that on a empty board they're really nice as attackers, but in a stalled out board state they're the kind of thing that your opponent absolutely has to get rid of before they can do anything. I mean, this is a 2/1. Jeez, just so good.
This is from Dominaria, so it's not in standard. We're definitely talking about like EDH or Brawl here, y'all. Historic Brawl. This is definitely the kind of,
yeah.
This is definitely the kind of card that you're returning. You're absolutely right, man. I mean, one of my favorite Historic Brawl decks, strangely enough, is SRAM Senior Edificer, and that deck runs every single creature like this, because it can either be a target to suit up with all of the stuff, or it can protect SRAM if I had to go all in on SRAM. And so,
right. Give me just 1 second really fast.
Yeah,
I'll be
absolutely.
right back.
Absolutely. So Sigardian Saviors really, I think, got a lot of potential. I think a lot of people are going to be low on this card. BuzzFuzz, excellent timing. I think people are going to be a little low on this card because it is a cast ETB. Which have we had any of those before? Is this the first time we've ever seen cast ETBs? No, definitely not. I can think of some others. 3 more likes and we're at 69 likes, y'all. Hit that button. Hit that like button. Thanks. I think people are going to be low on Sigardian Savior because it's all ETB cast. But I still think this has a lot of potential. I would have taken it as a like 2/2 flyer for 4 that does this, but I think that would have started inching into the broken territory. This is a card that I'm very excited to build around. I love aggressive decks. Y'all know this. When Dauntless Protection, Dauntless Formation, whatever that card was, 1 white, 2 other, everything gets indestructible, and if it's your turn, +1/+1 in vigilance or something. That spell was one of the all-stars in that mono white deck that was running around like 2 years ago, and that was the deck that I was playing at the time. I loved it. Was like around Ravnica. I loved playing the mono white deck that was winning tournaments. That was my favorite deck in a long time. And so, dude, if I had Sigardian Savior to go alongside, you know, the pay 3 life and the card gains indestructible 2/drop, whatever that thing was, that vampire from Ixalan, that was in that deck. Just love this card. I think it's really cool. It's definitely up my alley as far as a really good get yourself back in the game aggressive style card. I don't think that I would run 4 of them in the deck. I think it runs like 2. So that you're probably going to see it, but it's unlikely that you see 2 in a game. That's really where I would want to land. Yeah, it doesn't do anything when it's blinked because of that extra text. All right, Jake, we got a couple more mythics to go through here. We got a Phoenix, another Phoenix, Sunstreak Phoenix. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as Sunstreak Phoenix enters the battlefield. Oh, that's so flavorful. I love that. The Phoenix brings the day. And whenever
Torres hanging up, what's up, man? MTG means magic. Sorry, just saying hey to some folks here.
Yeah, no, you don't have to apologize to me. Whenever
Sunstreak Phoenix, yeah.
Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, you may pay 2. And if you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, it returns right to the battlefield tapped, but it does have to go between day and night. Day and night. It's fine. It's not gonna.
It's okay.
Well, it completely
I like
rides.
Arclight Phoenix.
Yeah, of
Arclight
course.
Phoenix is the kind of thing that you can build around and plan for. This is
Well, this absolutely depends on you playing around day night, and time will tell if that's a mechanic that, like, obviously in standard it'll probably be a thing. Is that mechanic going to make it into extended formats, and is that going to make all of these day night cards playable or dead depending on which way it goes? That's what I'm anticipating. So I just don't think that this card has got the legs outside of maybe some day night standard viability. I mean, if you've got something that needs madness or it has discard as a trigger, as a cost, Jake, then, and it's in your, like, these are all the caveats. It needs to be discard as a cost, so you can just pitch the Phoenix at will to get something else going. It needs to be like a green red aggressive deck, and it needs to be a werewolf day night kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it should have haste.
Oh dude, if this had haste, that would be much better.
Yeah,
I just don't like it. I think that's what it comes down to.
Neither do I.
We looked at Adversary. We talked a little bit about.
I'm sad there's no cool trailer for Innistrad. That's a good point.
They don't make money off of those. You know, they don't do anything they don't make money off of anymore.
That's right, baby.
Only monetization.
I'm all for it. Make sure they're getting the money.
Teferi, who slows the sunset. We talked about this one. I think my biggest disappointment on this is that it doesn't have anything to do with day and night based on the name. But also, I don't know if we need any blue and white day and night cards. I think that's a more red-green ability at this point. Stands to be seen. I need to explore the set more and play with it, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's in EDH.
He's got his staff, dude.
He's got his staff, dude. He brought his staff, and he is slowing the sunset. Somehow he is on Innistrad now. Something brought him there. Right. So this is probably one of my favorite mythics in here because it's more love for Aristocrats decks. When it ETBs, each creature gets -X until end of turn. Can you say gets around indestructible, baby? Little indestructible board wipe. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Yeah, but that's
pretty good.
BuzzFuzz, that's negligible. Then, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain a life.
It's good.
Aristocrats redundancy, dude.
Yep.
I want to remind y'all that this is going to be in a standard with this card.
Yeah, it's good.
Let's go and see card text. Opponent loses 1 life. And then we're going to go format, future standard. Let's just see what that brings up. So we got Dina Soul Steeper letting us Aristocrat drain opponents for a life whenever we gain life. So that backdoor triggers onto what we want to do.
Yep.
Dusk Wielders on an attack trigger. That's not very good. This definitely goes in the deck, but we are really quickly filling up that 3-drop slot, aren't we? For a standard Aristocrats deck, we are filling up that 3-drop slot quick as shit. We need a Blood Artist 2-drop, please. But this is the same kind of thing. Exile a target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature, each opponent loses a life, you gain a life. Boom. We're looking at things like Marauding Blight Priest. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life. Boom. Another freaking 3-drop.
Yeah.
We're looking at... No, Siege Zombie's not going to do it. Silver Quill Command's decent in the deck. Here we go. Wither Bloom Apprentice. Here's a 2-drop. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, each opponent loses a life, you gain a life. At the beginning of each of your end step, if a creature died this turn, each opponent loses a life. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Maybe there's not an Aristocrat standard deck. I was seeing all of this love for this, man.
What's cool about the Meat Hook Massacre as well is that you can just cast it again and again and again, because the effect is going to persist. You don't care about, like, if they build their board back up, just cast another one, sacrifice one. Sure, it's legendary. It's not going to stack, but it's just a great card. It's a board wipe built into an enchantment that does like some really good stuff. Yeah, that's probably going to be one of the best. That probably is the best card that I've looked at today.
I misspoke, y'all. This is from Ikoria. That's my bad. I thought that this, for some reason, I thought this was from Strixhaven. This is an Ikoria card. But Aristocrats decks are absolutely enormous in EDH. They're fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I love them. I've got one as a Historic Brawl deck with Corvold at the helm because of the sacrifice and the draw and the gain life and all the... Just a lot of shenanigans. Corvold's a really good commander for an Aristocrats deck, especially when your options are only the Historic Brawl options. This card is definitely going in that deck because that's what the entire deck is built around. Is, you know, Cat and Oven and Bastion of Remembrance and stuff like that.
I mean, this card, here's the thing about this card, is it's a deluge. It's a deluge. What did he get me?
Buzzfuzz and MTG Means Magic both got you. Jake, it's an enchantment. It's amazing.
Right, exactly. I actually want to see what its pre-sale price is, and I'm going to evaluate it based on that. Oh yeah, it's way too fucking expensive for me to even want to jump in on it. I think it'll take a dip once it comes out, but when I'm looking at like $17.99 for a card that I do think is going to be excellent in EDH, it's just way too expensive, way too much pre-sale hype going on here for me. That said, I do think the card is awesome, and I will be trying to acquire one. Expect something like this, a card that fits into a popular strategy like Aristocrats, to have a small dip and then quickly get eaten up. Cards that come to mind when I see something like this. Can we look at Fiery Emancipation, Joel?
Of course. Yeah, MTG Means Magic, you're absolutely right, and that's a great point, is you can cast Meat Hook Massacre for 2. So it is a 2 mana Aristocrats enchantment at the floor.
At the floor. Yeah. Exactly. So when you look at a card like Fiery Emancipation, right? When this card came out in Core 2021, I looked at this card and I was like, well, that is 1,000,000% going to be a highly desired EDH card. I just knew right out the gate.
Yeah.
And when it came out, it was around like $7 to $8. And I was like, well, that's a little bit high. But in the grand scheme of things, this card has upticked to like 15 to like $18.
18,
like you can see.
17 minimum. This was in my video, Jake, about cards to try and pick up for cheap at rotation, or either wait for a reprint of.
I have a copy of it.
Yeah.
But when you look back at a card like this and you just know how powerful this is going to be in a format like Commander, those 8s don't look so bad anymore, do they?
Nope.
So the problem with Meat Hook Massacre is where it's a very popular card. I can already tell you this is going to be a popular EDH card 1,000,000%. Again, because it's an enchantment, everybody can let me have it in the comments. But it's just too expensive right now. It needs to go through, you know, Innistrad's going to be opened a lot.
Yeah.
I was really expecting it, to be completely honest, I was expecting like a Snapcaster Mage. I was expecting something like that was going to be a card to really push the set. Because there are some cards that I do think are great from the set that I do think will push it. But I don't know. We'll have to see. There isn't anything that's really standing out to me as like, oh man, I really want to jump in.
I do like this card a lot. And if you look at, let's go to EDH Rec. We'll look at themes. Look at this. Aristocrat is 4th theme down under Artifact, Life Gain, and Equipment. And I clicked on Sacrifice.
What is the #1 equipment general?
Sir Gwyn.
Oh, okay.
And now Galea. Probably Galea is going to overtake it. Oh, wait. No. We're not sorted by decks here. Oh, no. Where is our... I guess you got to look at your color combinations, but your best is going to be... Your best is going to be the Sirgwin. Galia. Oh, this is probably... Like, Ardenn, Rograk. They're good choices, man. They've been really giving artifact... Or, like, equipment aura a lot of love in the last, like, 2 years to make it more viable. Because with all the sacrifice and just the push level of it, period. I mean, you remember my first Commander deck was a Voltron deck. And at the time, it fucking slapped. But nowadays...
Shadowsphere is amazing.
Nowadays, it's not that good. That's also on the video that's coming out on Sunday. It's not that good anymore just because of how pushed the format has become, how pushed the cards have become since then, and how easy it is to just get people to sacrifice or board wipe or whatever.
Yep.
But between like Wyleth, Soul of Steel, Ardenn, Rograk Partners, Galia, which just came out, Sir Gwyn, which kind of pushes
SRAM
you hard
down there
tonight,
too.
but yeah, I mean, obviously SRAM as well.
Yeah.
Dude, have you played with that list that I sent you for the Brawl version, Brawl Historic SRAM? Dude, you would fucking love this deck.
Not.
You would love this deck so much, dude. So much.
I do like SRAM.
But that's equipment. Let's pivot back to Aristocrat. So we're looking at Teysa. If a creature dying causes triggers to trigger, so she's like Death Harmonicon.
Yeah.
And creature token built. Marin's going to be good for an Aristocrat's deck just because you're going to be able to replay that stuff because you're going to have stuff constantly dying. And Marin is just such a powerful commander, period, across the board. Thran, because it's got a little bit of a sacrifice outlet built, not a little bit, a really fantastic sack outlet built into it of just pay a life, sacrifice a creature, and that's instant speed, and that's no mana needed. You get to drop a -1/-1 counter on a creature and draw a card.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, it's a huge theme in EDH. This is going to be a huge card.
It's just
really
redundancy.
When I saw
It's
that's it.
It's a board wipe that leaves behind something that works with your theme.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
And, and typically you'd be fine with that being like a creature, but an enchantment is just so much more versatile and resilient than a creature is.
I mean, look at three of the top 4 cards. They're essentially the same thing, but that's what this deck needs is redundancy, because that's all you're going to be doing. I guarantee you in 6 months you're going to see Meat Hook Massacre right up here with high synergy cards for Aristocrat's deck. Whenever it or a creature or planeswalker you control dies, everybody lose a life, you gain a life. Whenever it or another creature you control dies, lose a life, gain a life. Whenever it or another creature dies, target player loses a life, gain a life. You'll even lean away from each opponent if it'll just give you that redundancy. And this, for 2 mana, gives you that. It's another 2 mana version of that.
Yep.
Oh, man. I went off on Aristocrat decks because I love them. I don't think we ever even talked about Renin 7. This one's been around for a while because it got previewed early on as a teaser for the set. But 5 mana, 5 loyalty, +1, reveal the top 4, put all lands into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. 0, put any number of lands from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Any number. So it comes out, tick it up, look at the top 4, hopefully grab at least 1, maybe 2 lands. Next turn, 0, dump every land from your hand onto the battlefield. -3, create a creature token will reach power toughness equal to the number of lands you control. I like that it can protect itself.
Giveaway before 9. Yeah, possibly. What time is it?
8:44. Yeah, this is the last mythic that we wanted to look at.
Okay, cool.
And then you've got this. So you've got this 5-cost walker that can come out and protect itself immediately, and hopefully, I mean, with 5 mana cost, looking at standard, you've hopefully got at least 4 lands on the battlefield, maybe a mana dork. You've got a 4/4 with reach for -3, take Renin 7 down to 2.
So this is the chase card of the set, pretty much. I mean, that +1 is brutal, and that 0 is also brutal.
It seems. Yeah, Dustin, this art is sick. Bram sells. Yeah, this one's good. This one's spooky, but I love like the warmth here. The invitation into the evil, that seems really scary to me. Having something that's evil but also is like drawing you in. That's
a floating pumpkin is cool.
Yeah, floating pumpkin, very Halloween.
A floating pumpkin is pretty cool, man.
Anyway, those are the mythics for Innistrad Midnight Hunt. I gotta say, I gotta play it. I'm excited to play this set, but Jake, I really think that everything I've seen from the previews, everything I've seen from the community reaction, that this set is a real home run and is getting people back hyped to play some standard after Adventures in the Forgotten Realms maybe was sort of a cooler after Strixhaven being so awesome, and then Modern Horizons 2 being a oh my god set,
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard for any set that's going to follow Modern Horizons, right? Because Modern Horizons, when you have a roster of lands like that, is just, and it's just nuts. And now we're seeing cards like Murktide Regent, which anything with Delve is really good. Ragavan Nimble Pilfer is just an absolute house of a card. It's a great commander. It's a 4 of that you need in Modern.
Yeah.
So yeah, any set that comes after Modern Horizons, any type of modern product, any type of premium product is going to have a hard time, just because there's going to be so much wallet fatigue. But those sets, oftentimes the sets that are undersold, or the sets that follow those kind of sets, will sometimes have some of the most valuable cards, just because less of it will have been opened because of the wallet fatigue that preceded it. So yeah, I would definitely make sure to pick up the cards that you want from this set. I'm looking forward to drafting it. I always like draft, and Disturb is the kind of mechanic that I'm really into. So,
oh, dude, yeah, any set that is like graveyard flashback,
right.
Just those games get so fun. I did want to mention Lynn, Cheerful Tormentor. There's not a ton to say about this other than it's a very cool card. And I'm glad we finally have it in Commander, a red, a black, a blue, and 1 for a 2/4 Death Toucher. Whenever a curse is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you return it to the battlefield, attached to you at the beginning of the next end step. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you may attach a curse attached to you to one of your opponents, and if you do, you draw 2. This card is pretty brutal, but it's very focused. Like, I couldn't do a 3 ways to build Lind, because the way is curses. You should build curses. You should make a curse deck.
Just build curses. I like the voodoo doll. That's very cool.
Well, do you recognize this guy?
It's the guy from Commander 2017.
Right. It's the guy from all of the, I need to look at Curse of, right? Yeah, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Curse of Bounty. Curse of Disturbance.
Yeah, the Commander 2017 guy.
He also came back in one other thing, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
I think we saw him one more time, but I'm not sure of the card, and I'm not gonna sit here and do it. But I mean, if you're looking at type curse, you've got let's look at command. Let's also just do blue, black, red commander. We got 28 curses. That's enough to build a tribal deck. And if you're playing curse tribal, not all of them are gonna be great, but you did pick. I mean, look at that. Did you see when I did the commander caveat? 28 cards goes to 35. So they hit the vast majority of curses while creating a cool Grixis commander. And it's flavorful.
Let's see what the best curses would be. Like Captive Audience comes to mind. Cruel Reality is really good.
Type curse for this commander, boom, and then we can cheat and go sort by EDH rank. Whenever enchanted player draws a card, they lose 2, you gain 2. That's really freaking good. Whenever enchanted player is attacked, create a 2/2, tapped and attacking. No, you just create the 2/2. Wow. Beginning each end step, they mill, where X is the number of cards put in that graveyard from anywhere from this turn.
Yeah.
Whenever they're attacked, draw a card. This is a really good one, because you're incentivizing with cards for your opponents to attack whoever's cursed. That's kind of nice. Curse of Bloodletting is also obviously going to be a nice finisher. Let's look at the worst one. Because you got to run all of these. At the beginning of enchanted, this is only bad because it's new. It's only down on the list. Here we go. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, that player exiles 2 cards from their graveyard. So
that's pretty medium. I would probably not run that.
Well, you have to hit somebody who's playing like a Carador adjacent deck, some sort of graveyard Marin, something like that. But
yeah, I would just run the other curses and then let the other stuff that I run be like board wipe, card removal, that kind of stuff. I mean, clearly the meme is to, pick the best curses and then run them. You want to run as many as you can, but yeah, I mean, I'm seeing some stuff in here that's probably worth running, but not a ton.
1 damage at the beginning of their upkeep.
Yeah, like
I would
that
just be
in
like,
EDH
okay.
is just that's so sad, dude, in EDH by itself.
But you've got some nasty ones, like whenever enchanted player casts an instant or sorcery, each other player may copy that and choose new targets. Like that gets bonkers. Enchanted Curse of Thirst at the beginning of their upkeep. Curse of Thirst deals damage equal to the number of curses. So if you go all in on one person, so it's very interesting. I'm still, jury's still out on how I feel about these commander cards that are unique showing up only in set boosters, but the biggest part of me is just like, it doesn't matter, and they seed these things differently however they want to anyway, and set boosters are going to get open because they're pushing the shit out of them right now, and there will be plenty of stock of these things if we want them, right?
I think so.
Anyway, everybody, if you want to get in on this Patreon giveaway, you've got about 3 or 4 minutes. Go join our Patreon at any level, and we will get you in on this. Other than that, patrons, if you're still hanging out, let's do this September. What is it? September giveaway?
Yes, this is the September giveaway. And I don't know if the 2 people hanging out are here, but I do know that we have 2 sponsors for episode 27 of Foil Quest that are waiting on boxes, but that is going to be something that we're probably going to schedule for this upcoming week. I just want those boxes in hand before I start to schedule anything straight up again. Sorry about the delay on that. I know that there are a lot of folks here that are very interested in our next episode of that. So, just stay tuned, and you're going to find that information in the Discord. The best thing you can do if you enjoy Jake and Joel, if you want to support the channel on a deeper level, go sign up at any level on Patreon. You're going to get involved in these giveaways here like you're about to see. But additionally, we're going to send you a signed 2-headed giant. Your name is going to be in every video. And then also you're going to get premium Discord access. You can hang out over there, get all the updates, and make sure that you stay up to date. It's just something to think about.
Yeah. So patrons, if you're hanging out, you get to see us do this live. Every month I take all the names of everybody on the Patreon. I try and do this like slow scroll through so that everybody can see their name if they're worried their name doesn't make it on there. But yeah, the biggest way to support us is definitely our Patreon. We love everybody just hanging out. Click and like and subscribe, though. That's a huge thing, too. Jake, would you do me a favor and roll a die that you have sitting around?
I think I should, but I think you need to add Dustin Burns in, who just joined.
Dustin Burns killing it with the last second. Wow, I was just like, run that giveaway. I didn't give anybody time. Dustin Burns, we really appreciate you there.
Yeah,
supporting
give me
us
just
like that.
1 second, and I will be right back. I'm going to do a quick safety meeting for everybody. They know what I'm talking about. And then I am going to roll a dice, and we're going to randomize this.
Jake and I thoroughly appreciate everybody's support, y'all. We are really trying to grow this thing where we can make it our full-time jobs and do a lot more streaming. I would love to add a lot more streaming. Just can't with a full-time job. But we just like to have our little way of giving back, because it is built on y'all. Are there any cool legendaries? We talked about these, I think. Like this is fine. It's a card draw in Selesnya. Zombie seems cool. There's one that I saw. Oh, maybe it's in the main set. Because that's got to be a stream coming up. We'll do some build streams where we put together some of these decks. Monocolor. What is this? Other tapped creatures you control have death touch. Other untapped creatures you control have hexproof. What? Holy shiza. other tapped creatures you control have death touch. Everything attacking has death touch? That seems good. That seems good. And you know what's interesting is...
All right, I think we're rolling a D6. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that works for me.
All right.
We'll talk about Seraph again on another day, y'all. We'll dive into these legendaries. Jake and I are gonna do a few videos breaking this down. Oh, nice. Webcamschat.com. Hot girls and boys video chat. Nice. Thank you for coming into our chat and saying that.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
That's just their name. That's just their name.
I am gonna go ahead and time you out. So, sorry, but webcams-chat.com. Hot girls and boys video chat.
I liked their.
That's a username.
Vibe.
That's a username that's too trolly. Like you're a snake eating its own tail.
I was thinking of a sketch the other day, and you know they always do the good cop bad cop sketch. What if they did it like good cop hungry cop, or like good cop?
You would have to put a table at the back of the room that's got like a lot of snacks and a coffee maker and stuff like that.
Right.
And so you play good cop, hungry cop, and he just keeps going back there and making a little thing.
And they're just like, "What, Kevin? What are you doing back there?" And he's like, "These croissants are fresh, Steve."
Well, like the third or fourth joke is he's in the guy's face, and you're gonna tell us what we want to know, and you hear beep beep beep. And it goes,
second. Give me just a sec.
And the microwave starts running. I don't know really what we're talking about, but it's a funny idea for a sketch.
You have to add something to Dustin B.
I did it. BuzzFuzz. Now we have two Dustin Bs. We got Dustin Buckaloo and Dustin Burns. Never thought we would have had two
Just
Dustin Bs.
Burns.
I put Dustin B. New.
Dustin B. New Burns.
Dustin B. New Burns. Got him.
There we go, baby. I like that.
All right, Jake.
All right, are you ready?
Roll a die. I'm going to roll this thing.
Okay, here we go.
Jake's going to roll us a number. It's a D6. I'm going to randomize that many times. You can't see it, but there's a randomize button here under my picture.
Top two, bottom two will win.
Top two, bottom two win a bundle of Midnight Hunt as soon as it comes out.
And this is not what our Patreon is about. Before the one person pops in there that's like, "You do not need to do this with your Patreon." This is
just a way of us giving back. That's all we want to do.
Here we go. We're doing it's 3. We're randomizing 3 times.
One randomization. Again.
Bobby Z. Oh man. I just had what a thought.
And we have randomized
a very weak safety meeting in the man cave and lost a half hour somehow. Right.
Right. We've randomized it 2 times. So our winners are 3 times. Noble Patat, Nitro Elephant, and Chase Cap and Magic the Casual. You 4 are our winners for the month of September. As soon as we can order Midnight Hunt, I will get a bundle of Midnight Hunt sent out to you. Magic the Casual, Chase Cap.
Did anybody want to fight the Midnight Hunt versus
Noble Patat and Nitro Elephant?
Going for adventures in the Forgotten Realms? I imagine people do want Midnight Hunt, right?
Yo, yeah. I'm super excited about that.
Cool.
Y'all, we appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I'm going to go because I haven't eaten dinner and it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, Joel, you got to go eat. I need to,
maybe starting a stream at 6:30 Eastern wasn't the smartest idea I've had all week, but...
Well, what we're going to do in the future is we're going to... The problem, everybody, is that I have a prior obligation that I have to do for one of my clients. I'm a dog walker until I go YouTube only.
Well, yeah, and I also work all day. I mean, that's not the only problem. It's just we work on opposite coasts and we both have full-time jobs, so we always have.
I don't know if Kenny is hanging out, but I am working right now. Just gonna show you. On the Karavik Deck Tech. Update. Karavik the Merciless updated deck tech. I'm gonna do an OG deck tech style where we're gonna do it with paper cards, dude. It's gonna be nuts.
Jake A, next foil quest is maybe next week, most likely the week after that. Short answer.
That sounds good.
Everybody, we thank y'all so much. Jake and I talked about maybe getting some.
And sincere Tony, dude, I need to get with you about that previous thing, man. I keep forgetting to do that, and I know that was something that you wanted to do. So we're gonna I'll reach out to you and we'll set that up.